The first week of baseball, everybody, is in the books. We're going to talk about it right now in this episode of the Dugout Dispatch. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Dugout Dispatch. I'm Steve Jewell, right-hand man Tyler Edmonds with me, everybody. Tyler, first week of baseball is
in the books, man. It's the week of overreactions, and
that's it.
Just blowing things out of proportion. And some teams' season is already over. Some teams are winning the World Series already. So yeah, man, it's back. It's great. I miss it.
It's just crazy. So many unexpected non-household names, I guess you could say, has hit more home runs already than Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani's he's washed. Shohei Ohtani, it's over. Just hang him up right now. Probably doesn't even need to bring his bat to the yard anymore. I think he's done. Be a full-time pitcher because he's done. He's over.
Get him out of your fantasy league. Don't bet on him.
He's not even batting his weight right now.
Dodgers won't win more.
The Dodgers should I tell you what, the Dodgers should just trade him to the Cubs right now. It's over. It's over.
I mean, wouldn't that be just great? We'd have to we'd let him pitch too, right?
That would be ground. That would just be stop what you're doing. Where was you when Shohei Ohtani got DFA'd by the Dodgers? Boy, that'd be nuts.
Into Chicago. Who would be more mad, do you think? Would it be Dodgers fans or Blue Jays fans? We saw how Blue Jays fans can hold a grudge in the World Series last year.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know, but man, that would be that'd be nuts. Just wake up one morning, the Los Angeles Dodgers have DFA'd Shohei Ohtani because he's only batted 160-something in his first week of the season. Like, man, that'd be nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy. One of the most exciting things, though, about the first week of baseball is the ABS system. We officially have the first week of the ABS system in the books. All right. So week one into the 2026 MLB season with the ABS system, and now we've got something we didn't have before, right? We've got data, and the numbers are already telling a very clear story, Tyler. So let's start with the big one, and that is accuracy. Okay, early reports show plate called accuracy is jumping into the 97 to 99% range with ABS in play. Now, if you compare that to traditional umpiring, which typically sat around 92 to 94%, and more importantly, varied wildly game to game, right? So right away, you're looking at roughly a 4 to 6% increase in accuracy, which is crazy. But more importantly, near total consistency. The strike zone isn't changing inning to inning anymore, right? So let's talk about the challenge success rate. Through the first week, players are winning challenges at roughly 45 to 55%. Sal Perez has got it down over there in KC. He hasn't lost one challenge yet. So Perez has got something figured out, and that's a huge number. What that tells you is this isn't just a gimmick, right? Players are identifying missed calls in real time at almost a coin flip success rate, meaning that the ABS system is actively correcting meaningful mistakes during games. All right, and here's another key stat. Challenge usage timing. Over 70% of challenges, right, are happening in two strike or 3-ball counts. No surprise, but it shows players are using this very strategically and not emotionally, which is great. Okay, these are high leverage decisions, not random reactions. Now, let's get into how it's affecting actual gameplay. Okay, we're already seeing a slight shift in called strike rate on edge pitches, down a few percentage points compared to previous seasons, though. So pitchers are losing those borderline calls, and because of that, early indicators show a small increase in walk rates, a slight bump in hard contact percentage, and a few called strikeouts on the edge. Hitters are benefiting, though, from a more defined strike zone. But Tyler, here's the flip side. Pitchers who actually command the zone, they're thriving, right? We've seen it already in a couple of games this week because now there's no guessing. If you can hit the zone consistently, it's showing that you are getting rewarded every single time. No more relying on an umpire's feel, if you will, just execution. And one of the most interesting early metrics is average game time has stayed almost identical. And that's huge because the biggest fear I feel like going in with any tech in baseball is slowed down, but the ABS challenge system is resolving calls. It's crazy, man, in just a matter of a few seconds. So there's basically no impact on pace. Now, I was watching the Giants game last night, and you may already knew this, but I learned this last night when they were talking about the ABS system. And this is something cool that the strike zone is set by how tall the batter is.
Mhm.
So, if you're Shohei Ohtani and you're pushing, I don't know how tall he is, but he looks like he's 7 foot on TV watching him. So his strike zone is obviously going to be a little bit higher versus someone who's maybe shorter or squats a little bit more or Altuve. So I found that very, very interesting. Now, we're getting in the first week of baseball with the ABS system. How are you feeling about it, Tyler? What's your thoughts on all
I
this? Is it
love it.
ruining baseball?
No, I
Ruining
love it. So
baseball,
because
right?
you still, my biggest fear when it was first announced and they were testing it in spring training and everything like that, my biggest fear was I don't want them to completely take away the human factor from the game. Part of enjoying baseball, part of watching baseball with any other sport is complaining about some of the calls made in the game, right? You
Absolutely.
we're Kentucky. Well, I'm not a Kentucky fan, but we live in I'm not a big college basketball fan, but me and you both live in a town that is full of diehard Kentucky fans. And one of the one things that most of them love to do is win or lose, they'll get on Facebook the next day. Most of the time it's after they lose and complain about the refs. It's just part of it. It's
Oh yeah.
just part of same thing with baseball. I as crazy as it sounds, I enjoy that just that human aspect of he made a bad call. I'm booing him out. All that kind of stuff. It's just part of and so that was my first worry about when it first came out. So far, that has not been an issue because you still have the human factor because it's almost like, especially on those borderline calls, the umpires like when the dugouts start complaining, it's kind of like, hey, you have a challenge. If you want to challenge it, try me, buddy. That type thing. Um,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I love it because it holds umpires accountable. Uh, and like you said, with guys like Salvador Perez, you see good a lot of these catchers are at knowing the strike zone. Uh, I think for the vast majority of it, all we're ever going to see really are catchers and hitters challenging the ABS system. I believe it was Ryan Helsley for the Orioles challenged it like on opening weekend. But
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I just wish, and I told my buddies over, I may have told you, we were talking about it at Cubs on Tap the other night. I love being there live for ABS as well. The fact that the player challenges it, so the umpire, stops the game. And again, it does, like you said, it doesn't take too much time out of the game because it's quick. But just those few seconds of the umpire pausing the game, hey, the player is challenging the call, and we're all waiting to see what it says on the big screen on the big scoreboard. And especially when a call gets overturned by the umpire in favor of the home team, or when an away player challenges and gets it wrong, I think all the fans, all home stadiums need to take advantage of that. They need to take almost like a hockey game like approach to it. Like, we've been to Predators games, and when the home team scores, the entire crowd goes crazy and lets the away team's goalie know it. They have like a 2-minute long chant of like, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. You suck. All that kind of stuff. I feel like it would be such just awesomeness if the home team crowds did something similar to that when players challenged. I think that would be electric.
Absolutely.
But I love it. I love it so far.
And here's the interesting side too on like the catcher part. Some estimates show framing impact potentially dropping 70 to 90% in value if AS becomes fully integrated. It's not small. That's a complete shift in how catchers are evaluated. So, do you think framing from catchers? Do you think it's just going to be a dying art now, or is it going to look different moving forward with the
No,
ABS?
I think that's still going to be a thing that's going to be used because you may have a way you may have the opposing hitter, you may have the hitter at the time, like depending on how you frame it. Maybe now they frame it in a way that makes it look like, hey, the hitter almost looks at the frame job and is kind of like crap. And I know this is just split milliseconds, but like maybe it gives them it puts them on the verge of, hey, you know what, I probably better challenge that pitch because the way he caught that ball. It may be it sounds weird, but almost like a reverse framing type thing, you know what I mean? Where they like catch it in the zone but goes out. It's like, hey, they want to challenge it, that type of thing. But I think you're going to see catchers, especially the ones maybe not necessarily framing, but the ones that know the strike zone well. I think that's going to be sought after more every offseason, like which catchers had the best percentage of, challenges and stuff like that.
For sure. For sure.
I also
And
think too, I think the ABS it could possibly force certain umpires in retirement. And I'm not singling anybody out, CB Buckner, but
but
that game, if you follow John Boy Media, John Boy broke it down the other day when it was the Reds and the Astros. It was the
yeah.
game Suarez did back-to-back challenges on Buckner and got it right. They did a study throughout that game. CB Buckner on 80 pitches that was in the zone, taken for a ball or a strike, on 80 pitches, he missed 20 of them. 20 of them. So 1 out of every 4 pitches was wrong.
Man.
And
Imagine what it's been like this week, him walking to the parking lot after the games.
sure, it's gonna it is what I don't want to sound like, you don't ever want to see anybody lose their job, and I don't want to call anyone an old head or anything like that, but it's just common sense. When you get older, your vision gets worse, and pitchers are throwing a heck of a lot harder than they did just years ago. And you have just split milliseconds to see that zone and to see that pitch. And for a guy like CB Buckner, it's obvious he can't see. He cannot see well at all. Just go ask what was it, the
some
Brewers
glasses.
game? The Brewers game the other night when he was umpiring first base. It's not just behind the plate, but first base as well. He thought that the base runner missed the bag completely, and he wasn't even watching it. But
That was
that's a whole nother issue.
You sent me that.
That's a
You
whole
sent
nother
me
issue
that,
in
and I was
itself.
like, "Oh my gosh, how do you
Yeah.
miss that? You're right there, dude."
But as far as like home plate umpires, I think it's eventually going to get to a point where certain umpires in crews probably just aren't going to get to umpire behind home plate.
That's a great question. Hot take, since we've got ABS, will we not have umpires behind the catcher behind home plate anymore?
I hope not. I really hope that's not the case at all. I don't want that. I don't want a complete robot system. I don't, because again, part of the game is the human factor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Part of watching the game, part of the experience is the human factor. And you've got some people that probably don't care about it, but some people, I love those moments of coaches and umpires arguing, players and umpires just going all out, yelling at that wasn't a strike or that was a ball, whatever.
Yeah.
Now
We
one
need
thing,
that.
one thing I do hope with the ABS, with the strike zone and everything, now that they've got a system for that, I would love to see them get some type of system, even though technically it's a judgment call, but I wish they could do something for the check swing calls.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. That has to be something next up on the plate.
But again, I
Surely
want to
that
say for
does.
each third and first base umpire, I'm pretty sure that is it's a judgment call, and you can
Yeah,
describe a quote unquote judgment call 1,500 different ways. Um, so I hope eventually there's some type of system for that. And
yeah,
same thing, give us some challenges for it. Like, and even if it's one of those things like in basketball and football, you've got down at the bottom little circles for the number of timeouts left. That'd be kind of
hmm
cool just to have them right by each team city is just like the little circles. How many challenges we got left? How many,
it
and
would be cool. Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
like it.
so far, I like it. I like it.
I do too, man. And I think it's here to stay. And before we kind of get into recapping the week, just kind of talking a little bit more about the state of baseball. I saw this on X that Ben Verlander posted. MLB opening week numbers are insane. Netflix averaged 3 million viewers plus the youngest audience for an MLB opener in a decade. NBC had 3.2 million for the Diamondbacks Dodgers plus 2.3 million for the Mets Pirates, making the largest MLB opening day audience on record for a multi-game presentation on a single network. Fox, it's up 45% from last year. MLB Network, most watched opening day in network history. Baseball is so back. Tyler, we cannot, I repeat, we cannot have a lockout at the end of this season.
Yeah, those are
We
great
can't lose
numbers.
momentum.
Those are great numbers. It's just something you don't want to see heading into a lockout
Yeah.
because you see those numbers and it's just you see what's coming down the road. You see that there's a potential possibility of missing games. And so seeing numbers like that, and then you think, well,
Yeah.
crap, this sucks because there's a really good chance next year that the season doesn't start on time. And so all those viewers with all the different things, all the different options we have now in 2026 as far as what we can watch, what we can pull up on our phone, what holds our attention span and everything like that. With all the thousands of options we have, it is it's scary because you see those numbers and it's awesome, but then it's like crap. There's a
Yeah.
strong possibility that those numbers could be cut in half next year.
And call me crazy, but I don't know, just for right now. And I know it's too early to tell because, again, we're, first weekend of baseball, right? We've
Mhm.
still got 6 months to go to see how things are going to shake up. But when you look at, when you think about those numbers that I just read, you think about the World Series numbers, and even 2 years ago, the first Monday game of the World Series with the Dodgers Yankees. I'll never forget this, how it had more viewers than Monday Night Football that night. And you just think about where baseball has been the past, 3 to 5 years, you could argue, since Shohei's been called up and all these guys that we've got that's contributing, right, to the viewership and the stardom in the league, from Otani to Trout to Judge and these young guys like Pete Crow Armstrong or Jackson Holiday, etc., Paul Skeens, etc. I'm feeling very optimistic, not confident right now. I'm just optimistic that, with all that being said, the way baseball's trending, I'm feeling optimistic that we may not have a lockout, or it may not be very long, because Rob Manfred has to be sitting back looking at these numbers and has to feel the pressure of, like, hey, we have to capitalize off this.
Yeah.
We cannot let a lockout happen. And if it does, hopefully, we won't miss too many games, so we're not losing momentum, because it would just suck, man. We're on the verge right now. I was seeing some things last night. We're on the verge of knocking NBA to the third spot, and
Yeah.
baseball being the second most popular sport in America. And, something else that I think contributes to this, I've over the years, I guess I could say, football is kind of been like number one for me, and baseball's been like a close second, but that has flopped in the past going on 10 years now. And I think there's more people like me that's just getting sick of the state of other sports, primarily football. I can't hardly handle or digest the commentary anymore at all from some of these networks and some of these people. And my hat's off to some of these guys like Mark DeRosa and Lauren
Mhm.
Shahadi and other people on these networks that does such a fantastic job at MLB Network. A lot of the baseball podcast, I can't really name a bad one. It doesn't matter if it's, we're Cubs fans. So there's a lot of great Cubs podcasters out there. There's a lot of great, just, overall baseball. Shout out to the Talking Baseball guys. I know we're both fans of that. And all the other ones, it just seems like it's straightforward commentary. It's straightforward commentary on the networks and in the games without all the hoopla, without all the just crazy over the top, like, commentary. I can't handle Stephen A. Smith anymore, Nick Wright, you know, or Cam Newton on ESPN, all that stuff, man. Just give me the goods. You can keep the show business Hollywood stuff out of it to the side. I don't think you always have to, go that route just for viewership and ratings and stuff like that. And hey, I'm getting a little controversial. I'm throwing daggers and stuff out there this morning, but I'm just kind of tired of it. And I think a lot of
I
people are
agree,
tired
man.
of it.
Yeah, for sure.
People in the NFL world, I've heard Stephen A. Smith, want to talk about how, his show is the number one in sports, blah, blah, blah. That's because they leave them on in silence in doctors' offices and garages while people are getting their oil changes. It doesn't mean they're actually watching it or care. But when you see the numbers on some of these baseball podcasts or MLB Network, that's real people listening with the volume up and engaging
Yep.
and commenting and liking and subscribing and paying for subscriptions to MLB Network or MLB and different things like that, or their favorite podcasters. So yeah, I say all that to say that baseball, I think, is in such a healthy state. I love the commentary. Last night, they need to do this more for every single team. When I was watching the Giants game, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but during the game, they had a guy um, join the show live through Zoom. And so, I think special guests throughout games, like how cool would it be random Wednesday or Tuesday, Tyler, we're watching a Cubs game, and then all of a sudden they get Mark Grace or Sammy Sosa or Rizzo or John Lester just call in, to Boog and JD through a Zoom call, and they put their video on the screen and they're talking about this next
Oh, yeah,
at
that'd be
bat
awesome.
or state of the
ESPN used to
bullpen.
do it every now and then, but
We
almost
need
like
to
a
do it
man
more.
like oh yeah, for sure, like almost like a Manning cast, but with baseball. I want to say so.
That would be
A-Rod,
cool.
I think last year A-Rod and my mind's going blank. The famous Yankees broadcaster on Yes Network.
Wasn't Jeter, was it?
No, no, no.
I know they do a lot of stuff together. A-Rod and Jeter.
He's been a broad. Oh, my mind's gone blank. But those two guys, they did almost like an A-Rod cast last season here and there, and it wasn't
We need
bad.
more of that.
It would be fun. Like I tell you what, it would be awesome if what sucks is playback. Playback went out of business last season,
Yeah.
just when it was getting super, super hot. Playback was awesome because basically, especially these highly followed accounts, they would do a playback and they'd have their screen on the game and you could watch the game with them. And every now and then they'd have people come in during the game, like Josh Donaldson came into one and other guys as well. And that was awesome. It was. I loved
Yeah,
it.
man. I mean, get Griffey up through a Zoom call live during a Mariners game or a Cincinnati Reds game. Or can you imagine if you're watching a Giants game and all of a sudden Barry Bonds pops up and he's just, talking about this next at bat or
For
how to
sure.
play?
He was on, I believe was it Netflix or the NBC game the other night with Rizzo? It
I
was
think so.
on, I
Yeah.
believe it was Sunday. He did a good job. I would love to hear those guys talk more. Obviously Rizzo, not being biased, definitely Rizzo, but I would love to hear
Yeah.
Barry Bonds a whole lot more just in the middle of a game. But back to just one thing that fans need to remember. The word lockout doesn't necessarily mean we're missing games. More than likely, there will be a lockout. That just basically means the contract has ended and they haven't reached a new one. They haven't reached a new agreement, everything like that. So I know I'll hear a lot of people on Twitter and stuff talk about lockout, and it comes off as if like we are for sure 100% missing games. That's not what that means.
Right.
However, like you said, hopefully they can take all this information that we have with the numbers and the viewerships and just the sole popularity of the sport right now. They take all that and hopefully we have some level-headed guys in the room during these discussions and say, "Hey, look, we are in a very, very good spot right now. Here's our numbers. We're so close to passing NBA right now. We're competing with the NFL right now. I know NFL is their numbers are still higher, but still we're just so popular right now. Let's not screw this up." And
Exactly.
hopefully a very reasonable agreement can be made between the players and the owners and everyone because yes, Steve, like you said, it's too good to just completely stop
Yeah.
right now for a month or 2 months or however long it could possibly be without games.
If we have a lockout, I think this will be why. Because the Mar not the Mariners, the Marlins are 5-1 right now. They can't
Oh
keep getting away
gosh.
with this. It's not fair that the Marlins are 5-1 and the Red Sox is 1-5. That's so fair. It's a yeah. It replaced
Dude,
the Dodgers and put in the Marlins. That's
The
hilarious.
Marlins have a better record than the Dodgers right now. And so
It's
that's what
not
some
fair,
people
Tyler. We need
that's
a
honestly
lockout. It's not
there
fair.
there are probably people that would argue that see look, we're not spending all kinds of money right now and we're better than the Dodgers right now. Granted, you've
Mm.
only played the White Sox and the Rockies, but they have a better record than the Dodgers right now. And there will probably be people that argue stuff like that for sure.
Owen Casey has more home runs than Shohei Ohtani. Just
Yeah.
let that sink in. All right, getting into recapping the week, everybody. Early power leaders. Wait, this is not what you expected. Tyler leading baseball in home runs. That's right. Through week one, guys like Shane Langoliers and Chase DeLauder are sitting at the top with around 4 home runs already. That's crazy. Not Judge, not Ohtani, not Olson. And that's what makes early baseball crazy. Power can come from anywhere. But the real question is, does it last? Tyler, are these legit breakout power bats or just a week one randomness? What do you think?
Well, after watching Joey Weimer with Washington, Joey Weimer's always been a solid player. I know he's batting, what is he batting 588 right now? Yeah, he's not
That's
gonna he's
insane.
not gonna sustain that all season long. But Joey Weimer's always been a solid player, and he's gonna get his chances in Washington. He's gonna get to play every single day. So it would not
Yeah.
shock me at all if he finished the season and you saw that he got an all-star nod this year. Shea Langoliers, he's another one that, yeah, he has 5 home runs right now. I'm not shocked at all. One, they play, which he hasn't played a home game yet, but they play their home games in a minor league ballpark. But other than that, Shea Langoliers is a very good offensive catcher. And again, doesn't shock me at all because that team is stacked with offense, and he's one of the guys that lineup revolves around, especially
Yeah.
right now when you got guys like Nick Hertz, who he hasn't even hit a homer yet. I don't even know if he's batting 100 right now. And it's
No.
only been 6 games. I get it. But yeah, Shea Langoliers he's been solid for the last few seasons. So it does not shock me at all. There's like Chase DeLauer. Yeah, I get it. He's a rookie and has
First
this hot
game,
start.
he got a homer.
Who knows? It'll be interesting to see what he finishes out with. But he is a guy with Cleveland. I'm not saying he has to hit a home run every game, but he is a guy with Cleveland that behind Jose Ramirez, for them to be a playoff contending team, he's going to have to be the second best player on that team. Has to be.
Yeah.
With that being said, wouldn't shock me if Cleveland snuck around. I say snuck around, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Cleveland treaded water all season long, and then at the end of the year they go on some epic winning streak again and find themselves in the playoffs. It wouldn't shock me at all. But yeah, overall, obviously, Otani's gonna get his numbers. Otani's gonna
Oh,
hit
for
his
sure.
homers and other players as well. So
We're not
again,
Otani haters, by the way. We love Otani.
yeah, and again, like we said at the beginning of the show, this is the week, the month, whatever you want to call it, of the overreaction for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And continuing on the first week of baseball, stat leader train, if you will, we got an RBI leader surprise, Tyler. Here's a name leading MLB in RBIs right now that nobody saw coming. Liam Hicks is sitting near the top with around 8-12 RBIs in week one. That's production, early, clutch, and consistent. And behind him, guys like Corbin Carroll, man, he's right there in the mix too. So yeah, stars are producing, but some unexpected names in week one are too. So which matters more early, big names producing or surprise guys stepping up like this, Tyler?
I like the surprise guys because I said it last
Me
episode.
too.
I know Miami is they've only played the Rockies and the White Sox, but I still think that the Marlins are going to be a playoff. They're going to make a playoff push this year. They're behind
It's
Sandy
gonna be cool,
Alcantara,
man.
who he's already won 2 games, pitched the first complete game of the season the other night. Sandy Alcantara,
Yeah.
a guy that last season, he danced around the trade block, but didn't get traded because he had such a roller coaster of a season. And especially after missing the season before and winning the Cy Young the season before that. So he looks like, and again, it's only been two games. He looks like he's back on track to be that guy. And so I love seeing guys like Liam Hicks lead the league in RBIs right now because those are the type of players for the Marlins that are going to have to step up if they do want to make that playoff push. So I love it. I love the surprise guys.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. All right. This batting average is ridiculous. We're going to talk about some BA real quick. Batting average leader Joey Wimmer, who you mentioned a second ago, is hitting around 580 plus through week one per Yahoo Sports. And I don't care if it's early, that's insane. You've also got guys like Sal Stewart right behind him hitting over 400. And this is what happens early in the season. I get it. It's a small sample size, but massive numbers. So, Tyler, at what point do we actually start taking batting average seriously this season?
I would say maybe the second month into the season, even though guys like one Joey Weimer, again, he's not going to bat 588 all season long. But dude, we watched him live go 6 for 6 that weekend in Chicago on a nasty Chicago weekend for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And Sal Stewart, is he going to bat 400 this season? That'd be awesome. But he's a guy that preseason is one of the odds-on favorite to win the National League Rookie of the Year behind. We'll talk to him. We'll talk about him here in probably a minute.
Yeah.
Connor Griffin.
Great. Be great for Reds fans. It wouldn't be great for us if he
for
batted
sure.
up.
It would. It'd definitely be great for Reds fans. But yeah, I would give it. I don't know, maybe somewhere in the second month of the season, just to because it's common every year. There's players that are historically slow starters. There's players that are historically hot starters, and then kind of settle down throughout the season. So I don't know, somewhere within the second month of the season is probably when I'd actually start being like, all right, man, this guy can really hit, or this is probably who we thought he was going to be or whatever. So yeah, give it a month, give it a month to 2 months to, see who really
see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. ERA leaders up next. Pitching stat of the week, Tyler, 0. That's right. 0, everybody. You've got multiple starters like Jose Soriano and Cam Schlittler sitting at a 0.0 ERA through their first starts. That's insane. That's dominance. And teams like the New York Yankees are leading baseball with around a 1 team ERA early on. So pitching isn't just good, it's elite at the top. What impresses you more, Tyler? Early dominant pitching or early hot hitting?
I would probably say early hot hitting, just because I feel like at the beginning of the season, the pitchers always had the advantage starting off the year, just because of the timing and everything like that. I mean, not to say that what those guys are doing are impressive, because it definitely is. Back to Schlittler, however you want to say his stupid name. He's going to be the Yankees player that is going to be the reason why everybody hates the Yankees even more.
Oh,
For those that aren't Yankees fans,
he's already
he's
said,
already on social medias. Yeah, doubt us now. Keep doubting
yeah,
us. Like,
he's
no,
ready for it.
you play, buddy, for a franchise that
The
you
evil
either
empire.
you play. Yes, your nickname, your team nickname is
You're
the
a storm.
Evil Empire, and you want
You're
to
a stormtrooper.
hate us now, doubt us now. Almost acting like you're an
You're,
underdog or something.
you're
Which, by the
Darth
way,
Maul up there, bro, throwing haymakers,
like the
throwing
Yankees,
90
and again,
plus.
the Yankees, which they went to the World Series just a year, 2024, but they haven't won it since 2009, I believe. So they don't have nothing to brag about over the last decade. I know that most of them, 27 wings, bro. But they want to act like your team name, your nickname, you're the Evil
Yeah.
Empire. So don't sit here and act like, oh, doubt us. Everyone doubt us. You're a good pitcher. That's great. But you don't have to get on, you can get on social media I like it when players get on social media, but don't come off as, oh, that keep doubting us because we're going to prove the haters wrong. Like, shut up,
Yeah.
dude.
You're,
Shut
you're not
up.
the Rockies or anything, bro.
Which, speaking of the Yankees, though, I will say there is a pitcher that I don't want to say dark horse, but kind of a dark horse because heading into the season, I think for the AL Cy Young contender, we all said Tarek Skubal or Garrett Crochet, one or the other. I think you can throw Max Fried, and it's not, I wouldn't even call it a hot take, but I think it would not shock me at all if Max Fried won the AL Cy Young this year. And
Dude,
for a guy
you
that,
took it out of my mouth. I was going to say that eventually, but you're right. He just straight dealing.
for the Braves was dominant, and
Yeah,
I don't want to say he gets forgotten about, but he does a little bit because you have
he
so
does.
many other guys in each league that are just so, with Paul Skeens, Otani, and then you have Skubal in the AL and everybody else. He's a guy that we sometimes forget about, and so far he hasn't given up. He hasn't given up a run in 2 starts, has 2 wins.
Yeah.
And again, wouldn't shock me at all if he won the AL Cy Young this year.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And that is talking about a team, a team that still has yet to start Garrett Crochet and Carlos Rodon. 2 guys that when they get back, if they are even a smidgen of their of what they can be, I think they're going to be all right, Cam. I think you're going to be all right. So
you're going to be all right, buddy.
Yeah.
Just hang in there. All right, Tyler. We got one more kind of recapping before we get into some other things we're going to discuss on this episode. We got strikeout explosion, team plus pitching. This might be the craziest stat from opening week. Okay. Let me just because they're in our division. So you probably already know.
I already know who you're going to bring up. Yeah.
The Milwaukee Brewers strike out 20 batters on opening day, tying a record for the Brew Crew. And Jacob Mizorowski had 11 strikeouts in just 5 innings. That's not easing into the season. That's domination from pitch one. Is this a sign, Tyler, that pitching is ahead of hitters early already, or just one crazy coincidental game?
I think pitchers are ahead of hitters early right now. I think
you're right.
I think it's been like that for a while now. But with that being said, the strikeout has also been a thing that over the last decade has been something that we've seen just a huge increase in anyways.
Yeah.
With all the pitch labs and the information and technology we have and the training now that pitchers have and everything, the strikeout is just it's on the rise, and it's going to continue to be on the rise because one, I mean, it's the hardest thing. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in all the sports to begin with. And now when you have guys that can train their bodies and get technology and learn new pitches and new movements and locations and everything like that. Yes, pitchers definitely have the advantage. I think overall, just in general, but especially early for sure. But again, absolutely. As much as I hate saying it, it's impressive to see what Jacob Mizorowski's done so far early. And he is another guy that you could pencil in as not a dark horse, because he's definitely not a dark horse, but a guy that maybe people forget to consider for a Cy Young candidate.
I agree. And to kind of put a bow tie real quick on recapping week one before we get into some other things we're going to talk about in week one. So we've got surprise home run leaders already out of the gate this week, right? Unexpected RBI guys, insane batting averages already, and pitchers throwing, up zeros with their ERA. So here's the real question before we move on. Are we seeing real trends right now, Tyler, or is just week one chaos?
Oh, I think it's week one chaos for sure.
I
And
agree.
it's every opening week. There's always players that stand out. There's players that fizzle out. There's players that rise above it. There's players that start off slow and then they come up and oh crap. Shea Langoliers has hit 5 home runs. He's the first catcher to hit 5 home runs in their first X amount of games, and
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you when. And that's crazy to say coming off a season in which Cal Raleigh broke the record for most home runs as a catcher, and he didn't even do that. So
Is
it's
it the
just
decade of the catcher? Are we in the decade
it
of the
could be,
catcher?
man,
Another
because
year of the catcher?
I mean, because you've got Cal Raleigh doing it last year, and possibly Shea Langoliers this year. Uh, Salvador Perez hit 40 plus homers. It's been within this last decade. It could be
Yeah.
Steve. It could, but yeah, I think it's just another example of just the craziness that is the first week of baseball.
Absolutely. All right, moving right along. Connor Griffin from the Pittsburgh Pirates gets called up. And this could be either genius or a huge mistake. Griffin's been producing early. He's hitting the ball well, flashing power, using his speed, and most importantly, he doesn't look overwhelmed, which is great. That's rare for a young player. But here's the reality. Once you get called up, the league adjusts fast. Pitchers find your weakness. We see it all the time. They stop giving you anything easy, and that's where most young guys hit a wall. So the question isn't what is he doing right now? It's what happens when the league punches back. What do you think, Tyler? How do you think he's going to fare? Do you think this was the right
Well,
decision to go ahead and call him up right now?
oh, for sure. Especially, I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it during their home opener and not just on the road. I'm not. People were comparing this to like the Chris Bryant bump up. I don't think it's not to say that Connor Griffin can have a better impact on the Pirates than Chris Bryant did on the Cubs. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Connor Griffin could be a better player than Chris Bryant. But one, I think it's impressive that they already gave him a 9-year extension before he even played a game, which is smart on their part.
Yeah.
But he's proven so far, at least in the minors, between 3 different levels, that he's really freaking good right now. He can hit the ball and he could play defense very, very well. With that being said, guys like Paul Skeens will have to pull this guy aside and just be like, look, man, you're in Pittsburgh, and I know we're trying to compete and everything like that, but you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your moments where you're going to come in here and be like, what the crap is going on? What the crap what the heck are we doing? Because I'm sure that's what Paul Skeens thinks a lot of times too. I think this would be a good time for him to do that. Hey, man, you play your game. You're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. You're going to have. Don't let it get to you and everything like that, and just continue to be you. And if he does that, I think he's going to be just fine. And Pittsburgh, dude, if he could, because there was people saying that in the next few years, Connor Griffin is going to be the guy that people are going to want to get a jersey of over Paul Skeens. And I guess now you could say that because he's going to be there for 9 years, whereas Paul Skeens, he's probably only going to be in Pittsburgh for 4 more seasons or whatever, whenever his contract ends, or maybe the season before when they decide to trade him. But yeah, I hope for not when obviously when he's not playing the Cubs, but any other time other than that, I hope this kid comes up and just mashes. I really do. Not just for the Pirates' sake, but just for baseball in general, because I love seeing these young players come up early, like super, super early, and succeed. It's really awesome to see.
Absolutely. And I was just looking at some of his stats on Baseball Reference. If you look at his season last year combined with spring training of this year. His batting average is sitting at 336. OBP is at 420. He's slugging 530. OPS is 950. And yeah, he's on the right trajectory. We'll see how he fares. I think he'll have that call up pop, as I kind of call it. Where I think he'll do good right out of the gate. I know they're very excited. Pirates fans, man, they need this. Paul
Oh,
Skeens
dude,
was great. Now they get
one of
Connor.
my
They
best
need
friends.
this.
One of my best friends, he is a hardcore Pirates fan, and I know he's excited because other than
Absolutely.
Paul Skeens pitching, he hasn't had much to root for.
Yeah.
And so if which even though this year you sign Brandon Lau and you sign Ron Weathers, or no, not Ron Weathers, Ron O'Hearn. And so you kind of show you're moving in the right direction. O'Neal Cruz has been hitting the ball great, 3 home runs, hit a bomb in Cincinnati the other day. Can't really play center field that great, but he can hit the ball pretty decent.
Yeah. And
so
hang in there. You may get eaten up next year, so it may get better.
You've got if Connor Griffin can just prove to be a piece for this team. You've got guys like Jared Jones coming back this season. Bubba Chandler. I don't know if he's made a start yet or not, but Bubba Chandler's another guy that you're relying on in that rotation. Obviously, Mitch Keller. You've got a rotation that could when everybody's healthy and 100% can compete with just about any rotation in the league.
Dude, I wanted Mitch Keller last year at the trade deadline.
Yeah, he's been consistent.
He's dealing.
He's been consistent. And so if Connor Griffin can be anything close to what he's projected at, dude, look out for the Pirates, man, because I know it's been a long time. I think the last time they were in it was 2013, I believe. But when that team is a playoff contending team, Pittsburgh is a tough place to play.
Absolutely. I agree. Happy for Connor Griffin. There was another one too. Let me find it. Not that one. We got that one coming up later. Here we go. It's this one, the Mariners. Colt Emerson signing an 8-year, $95 million contract with one club option. So that's great for the Mariners. It's great for Colt.
It's great. It's great to see these teams and organizations going ahead and taking a chance on these young players. It also makes you wonder what the what this offseason is going to look like with the negotiations with the CBA and everything like that. But it's great to see, though, as far as organizations taking chances on these teams, especially like Pittsburgh, for example, who has been known to not sign anybody. Well, at least they are offering long-term contracts to some of their young potential superstars. For sure.
Go for it, man, because it reminds me yesterday, if you haven't seen David Ross and Anthony Rizzo's new podcast, check it out. It's so good. I was
watching Reunion. It's great.
Lovable Reunion. I was watching the episode that dropped yesterday with Joe Madden on it.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, it's good. So good. And he was talking about things like this. He's like, I don't get baseball. Joe was saying this, Joe Madden. He said, I get it, but I don't get baseball teams and front offices playing it safe and trying to worry, about a 5-year plan and all that. And, and they were just basically talking about, that 2016 World Series team for the Cubs. Biggest reason why, or one of the biggest reasons that helped them is when the trade deadline came, they went out on the market, got the biggest asset that they could get to solidify the back end of that bullpen with Aroldis Chapman and didn't play it safe. They went out and spent the money. And so I think that's very important that Joe was talking about, going out and spending the money, taking a chance, like with Colt Emerson, or going ahead and locking down Connor Griffin, instead of, we'll just wait 3 to 5 years and see what happens. Well, if you do that, you're going to be like the Boston Red Sox. I'm looking in the camera saying that because there's a lot of disgruntled Red Sox fans out there.
Which, speaking of Joe Madden,
it's not fun starting 1-5.
No. And you brought up Joe Madden, dude. I love Joe Madden. I can't wait to watch the episode. I reached down because
of him out in front
right here on my bookshelf. If you're a big reader, he wrote this. It was a few years ago, the Book of Joe, and it It's almost as good as, well, it's crazy.
I completely forgot he's got a book out, and I got to get that.
If just Cubs fans real quick, no free ads, but which this is a great book too. This book follows Joe's life, but it also follows the World Series in 2016. This book as well, I would say this is my favorite Cubs book so far. David Ross, teammate.
That's great.
And it's funny, it's crazy that, you know, because you brought up the Lovable Reunion and it's 2 books with guys that are in. I'm telling you, this book right here, if you like the movie For the Love of the Game,
Yeah.
this book, it starts off the morning of Game 7 of the World Series, and he's just going back throughout his career and his life. Each chapter, it's awesome. But yeah, I love Joe Madden, dude. I think he should be the next guy to be the Team USA manager. But
That would be great.
yeah, I love
Was
that
it
dude.
him? I think this is one of my favorite quotes. I'm
And
pretty
he's
sure
an odd dude. I know a lot of people want to hate on him. Oh, well, he dang near almost lost us 2016 and blah, blah, blah. I was like, shut up. He knew how to, he was the glue. He was the glue of that clubhouse. He was the
He
guy.
started so much stuff, man. He started music and during
He's
spring
the one
training
that
games.
he was the glue to the chemistry of that whole team. He really
Absolutely.
was. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
And I think
screw all those people that want to say, "Oh, he tried to do everything he could to lose that year." Like, shut up, dude.
that's crazy. No, and that's the thing. They were talking about that on the podcast about after they won the World Series the next day, it was all their critiques about what was it? That was the big critique about taking Kyle Hendricks out or something, or leaving Aroldis Chapman in for the 9th inning or whatever it was. I can't remember right off the gate.
That was the next day.
Yeah, and like
they
the
were all
following
probably.
week.
I was gonna say they were all.
And they were like,
still
"Wait a
drunk.
minute, we won. Like,
Yeah.
why aren't you talking about how we won the World Series
sure.
after 108
Yeah.
years instead of critiquing this and that?" But it's the day that you live in. But one of my
Oh, yeah.
favorite Joe Madden quotes, I'm pretty sure it was Joe Madden that said this, is pressure is a privilege. And I love that so much. And something else that he was talking about, because I think he was talking about, around 2007. 2007, was he still in Tampa Bay? I think, right?
2007. Yeah, because 2008 was the year that Tampa played the Phillies in the World Series, and he was coaching then. So I'm almost positive he was there the year
Yeah.
before too.
So I think around 2007, he was saying, is when he was really starting to integrate, like analytics and stuff like that. And he said something so great. It was a catcher, I think, maybe for the Dodgers. I can't remember the guy's name. He tells it in the episode. Go check it out. It's great. But he was talking about, utilizing analytics, but not being so fully on that side, integrating both feel, the old school stuff, and analytics. And he said, it's not about being old school or new school. It's about being in school. I was like, oh my gosh, that's great.
That's great.
Go watch that episode.
He has a lot. His mindset, dude. It's just different. And some people don't like it. Some people love it, whatever, but
I love it.
It works for him, man. And it works for the teams that he coaches. And hopefully, speaking to him real quick, I know we're kind of sort of off topic, but I would love to see him manage again. And
yeah,
and I know I said Team USA, and that would be awesome, but I would love to see him manage just somewhere in the big leagues soon.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and to kind of end things here, I got a couple way too early predictions, and we'll finish it out with a couple of hot takes. But first one right out of the gate on way too early predictions. The LA Dodgers are winning 105 plus games. Yeah, I know that's a weak one, but I don't care. This team already looks like a machine, man. Top to bottom lineup, pitching depth, star power. There are no holes. If they stay healthy, this feels like a 105 plus win team easy. Now, Tyler, are the Dodgers actually that dominant, or am I just overreacting week one? What do you think?
They're dominant. I don't think they're going to win that many, just because I think this season, if they want to, I guess, what do you call it, tri-peat or hit the trifecta, I think their biggest concern, and you kind of said it, was health. So I think they may dominate early, and then I think they're just going to coast like all season long, because they know they're going to be there, and they know as long as they're healthy by September 31st, they're good. They're the big bad dragon in the cave come the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think and you already kind of see it with is it Blake Snell? Blake Snell still kind of waiting to come back, and I don't has Tyler is Tyler Glass now down right now?
I'm not sure. Let me look that up.
I
I want
don't
to
know
say
if I've
he
seen him
is.
make a start yet, but I think either way, then with me saying that, that doesn't mean they can't win 99 to 100 games.
Yeah.
I think this season they are going to be focused more on making sure everyone's healthy, and then it's just going to be like a coast. And we saw it; they just lost a series against Cleveland, but it's kind of just like whatever because we're the Dodgers, and as long as we get to the ballpark and everyone's healthy and nobody's whatever, yeah, we're going to be there at the end of the year. So whatever.
Tyler Glasnow is not on the IL and is healthy.
Okay,
So we'll see when he's coming up. I mean, they just got so many pitchers. What are
they
they doing?
do.
I think Otani pitched last night, right?
Oh, well, I know he pitched Monday. He threw 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. So
Monday.
far, he hasn't. I want to say he
I missed
hasn't
that
given
one.
up a run since at least he hasn't given up a run in the season since like August of last year. I think it's crazy.
Let me see who pitched for the Dodgers yesterday. Oh well, I have to find it later. I was thinking he pitched last night for some reason, but you're right. It was Monday. All right, next we got Ronald Acuna Jr. is winning the MVP again this season. That's my next way too early prediction. He already looks like the most electric player on the field every night right now or this week. Power, speed, presence. He changes games instantly. If he stays healthy, that's the key. I don't see anyone matching his overall impact. Is Acuna already the clear MVP favorite in week 1, or are we ignoring other contenders?
Oh,
Am I ignoring other contenders?
I'm still saying Otani. Otani's on the top until somebody pushes him off of it.
Until proven
Acuna,
otherwise?
I think Acuna could be the guy that competes with him. And you could say the same thing about Juan Soto. The thing with Acuna, it'll be interesting to see, depending on how the Braves do as far as their record and how they are in their division. It just makes me wonder how Acuna's attitude it may be towards coming to the ballpark every day and everything like that. So that'll be interesting to see. But again, if he's playing well and dominating and being that MVP caliber player that he's been in the past, then more than likely the Braves are going to be up there in their division competing for the number 1 spot. But I've still got to say Shohei Ohtani is the number 1 overall dude. But let's just say if we took Ohtani out of it, like just the quote unquote Ohtani rule, we can't say Ohtani. I'm saying Ronald Acuna and Juan Soto for sure.
Absolutely. I like that. Who's going to win Rookie of the Year if we had to take a look at week 1? This rookie class, man, is loaded. Composed. There's a lot of players that are composed, confident. They're producing early, everything, all the things, and that matters over a full season. Tyler, do early performing rookies actually sustain it or hit the wall? And could we see maybe Connor Griffin get Rookie of the Year at the end of this season?
I would love to see Connor Griffin get NL Rookie of the Year because I mean, if he does that, that tells me that surely to goodness the Pirates are competing for a spot, and so he's a guy that
Yeah,
I really, really, really want to see win the NL Rookie of the Year. With that being said, Sal Stewart's another guy for Cincinnati that I want to say he's another favorite to win the Rookie of the Year.
absolutely. Yeah.
And if he's another one that if he's winning Rookie of the Year, more than likely Cincinnati, hopefully with the offense that they're looking for, hopefully I say hopefully, I don't mean to say hopefully because I'm a Cubs fan, but I guess for Reds fans' sake, hopefully that means for them that their team is competing for a spot. As far as the AL Rookie of the Year, Trey Savage. We saw him pitch at the end of last year in October and just watched him dominate. He is a guy that he hasn't made a start yet, but he is a guy that I would love to see take that spot in the AL Rookie of the Year
Yeah, man.
running or whatever, because he's a guy that, man, He did. He was dominant in the playoffs, and it'll just be interesting to see what he can do with the full season.
Absolutely. I agree. I got one more for you.
Oh,
One
and
more for
also
that.
too, another one real quick with Detroit.
Mhm.
Kevin McGonigal, the shortstop for the Tigers.
Yeah.
He's one that the Tigers started him at the beginning of the season on their MLB roster. He had like 4 hits on opening day. He's a guy that Detroit really needs him to produce. I think he was hitting 6th on opening day. Probably going to bump himself up if he hasn't already. He's another guy that I would love to see win it as well, because if he's winning it, that means Detroit's probably pretty solid right now, and as they should be. But it's also known that Detroit's offense isn't the sexiest on paper. So he's a
Yeah.
guy that hopefully can produce for them as well. And if he does, he's going to be an AL Rookie of the Year candidate.
Absolutely. They're one of my top 5 teams that I'm watching as many games as I can this season. I'll always enjoy watching some Tiger games, but got one more way too early predictions for everybody. All right, the gap between elite teams and bad teams is getting bigger. This may be the biggest trend, I think, after week 1. I could be crazy. Call me crazy. That's okay. Let me know in the comment sections, everybody. The good teams look really good, and the bad teams look completely outmatched at the moment. There's less middle right now. And if that continues, Tyler, we're going to see some teams fall out of contention early. So is the league, Tyler, more top heavy than ever right now, or is this just week 1 exaggeration I'm coming up with?
I think it's week 1 exaggeration, just because, I mean, the Red
God,
Sox. The Red Sox, what are they?
yeah.
1-5,
1 and
I
5
think.
currently.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Red Sox aren't that bad. They're really not.
No.
Um, Now the teams like the Rockies, yeah, they're probably going to only win about 45 games. But I think that even the A's, I think the A's have only
Yeah.
won 1 or 2 games.
The Red
The
Sox, the White Sox, and the A's are 1 and 5. The Yankees, the Brewers, and the Marlins are 5 and 1.
And you could say that's a little overreaction about the Marlins. Are they going to be that dominant of a team this season? Probably not. This weekend against the Yankees, I'm interested to see how they do, especially
Oh
against a team
yeah.
like the Yankees in New York.
Yeah.
But like
That'll
the
be
Red
great.
Sox, man, they're not that bad of a team. And the Giants, I know they're 3-4. They started off 0-3, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, this new manager, what's going to happen?" You look at that roster on paper; they're a good baseball team. They're going to figure it out, hopefully. The coaching situation there, they're going to hopefully everything clicks, because there's another one that man, they're not as bad as they appear right now, I don't think.
Absolutely. And all right, listen, everybody, these are way too early. It's just week 1 of baseball, and I'm probably wrong, but which one are you actually buying, if any, that we've discussed on this episode today? Let us know in the comment section. And all right, to kind of our last segment, kind of end things today, got a couple hot takes. Shohei Ohtani won't be the most valuable player on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, I said it. That's right, everybody. With the
Wow.
depth on that roster, guys like Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman could be just as impactful, if not more, over a full season. Ohtani, he may be the biggest name, but I don't think he'll be the most valuable Dodger this season. Am I crazy, Tyler? Or do you think he will be?
Oh, you're crazy, Steve. You are. You're crazy.
I'm drinking
Um,
crazy coffee today.
you're drinking the crazy coffee. I
Or
mean,
maybe I'm just giving clickbait stuff
I don't
out.
know.
Whatever
Maybe
works.
you're convinced. You see that 160 average. You may know something that nobody else knows. Maybe he's
No.
hovering. Is there another gambling scam we don't know about? Is there another story that we don't?
Stay tuned, everybody.
I don't know. With Shohei, man, I think he's at a point where now his goal is he wants to win a Cy Young, I think. And I don't know,
Yeah.
but then there, like you say, though, there are other players on that team can make huge impacts, like Kyle Tucker, who's somebody else we forget about. Um, as much as we hated to see him leave Chicago, dude, he took his ball and went to LA, and he's another one that could be a huge impact. He's going to be a huge impact team on that impact player on that team. But yeah, Steve, I don't know if I still think
I'm
Otani is going
alone.
to be the
I'm alone
MVP of
on
that
that
team.
one.
Well,
That's
you
all
may not
right.
be alone. There's others out there, but I just
But you're not with me. Okay, I
no.
got you.
But I mean, if he stays healthy, if he as long as he stays healthy and he does both and he pitches and hits, still, I don't
Yeah,
care if he only hits 15 home runs.
you're right. I'm gonna get lit up in the comment section for this probably, but that's all right.
That's what we love, though, man. A
Baseball
re,
talk,
a
baby.
react a good reaction, bad reaction. It's still a reaction.
That's it. That's it. All right. What about this one? Another hot take. Baltimore Orioles are more dangerous than the Yankees right now. Hot take.
Oh
The Orioles look
wow.
more complete, I think. Young talent, energy, depth, and they play fast. Meanwhile, the Yankees, still feel like they rely too much on big moments from stars right now. But Baltimore looks like the tougher out. What do you think, Tyler?
I'll say right now, lineup wise, maybe the Orioles, even though you've got a
Mhm.
lineup with Aaron Judge, who, yeah, he's got 2 home runs right now, but uh, I would say right now, lineup wise, just based off this last week and numbers, you may could say the Orioles, but as far as that pitching staff, man, New York, dude, I don't, even if it's just Max Fried and Cam Slitler or however you say his name, and you still got a bullpen that has David Bednar in it and could have, um, I would give the pitching advantage to New York for sure. But lineup, you could argue Baltimore.
Good deal. I may be alone, but that's okay.
Pete Alonso hit his first home run in Baltimore the other day too, by the way.
Yeah,
So
that's
there
true.
you go.
The polar
And
bears getting
Gunner,
it done.
dude, Gunnar Henderson, if he can be anything like he was his rookie season, man, look out.
Exactly. Yeah, that could be dangerous. And he's showing a couple flashes right now, which is
They've
good
got
to
a
see.
lot of players. I'll say this with Baltimore. They've got a lot of players that if they can, like, if Adley Rushman can be
Yeah.
anything close to what he was 2 seasons
Jackson
ago,
Holiday
if
2
Jackson
seasons
Holiday
ago.
can continue to improve, Taylor Ward, who came over from LA, he was
Yeah.
solid in LA. If he can be that guy in Baltimore, you got Tyler O'Neill, who hit 30 home runs just a season or two ago. I know I'm missing somebody, but they've got some really good players. Obviously, Pete Alonso and
Yeah.
yeah, I know I'm missing somebody else, but still, they're a solid lineup 1 through 9, especially when everybody's clicking.
There you go. I agree. All right, one more for everybody. Spencer Strider is the most dominant pitcher in baseball, and it's not even close. When he's on, hitters look overmatched. Velocity, the strikeouts, presence. He doesn't just beat you, he overwhelms you. Hot take. If Spencer Strider stays healthy this season, he runs away with the Cy Young Award. Am I crazy, Tyler? I'm
I mean,
crazy.
he's got to
Say crazy
pitch
some more.
first though. He's still hurt. Like he's still on the IL. He's got to I mean, that's a big if he can stay healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
I would
I don't
love
think
to
his IL stint's going to be very
I
long.
don't
I
think
mean,
it's very long, but he's got to prove to me first that he was that guy 2 years, or I guess, has it been 3 years now? Because he
I
was
think so.
dominant in his first season, and then was it the next year he got hurt? It may have
I
been, but
think
either
so, yeah.
way, I would love to see Spencer Strider come back and be that guy. He's got to prove to me that he can stay
Oh,
healthy and he
he
can
started
be
a bullpen session in Phoenix today.
okay.
Just
So
seen that.
hopefully that's signs of him. Hey, we're making hopefully he comes back this month, or yeah, sometime in April.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that I'm rooting for sure. I don't know. He's got to convince me that he's that guy again.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree. It's a very hot take. Just,
You're coming on with all the hot takes this morning, Steve. People are going to wake up this morning and they're going to be
like, this
drinking.
is
You're
he
going to cause people
drinking?
to spit their coffee out. But hey, we're getting that's good though. That's
Yeah,
good. That's what we're here for.
that's it. And the Braves did reveal
Those are
their
sick.
new City Connect uniforms. Those look pretty sick.
They're good.
Um,
I wish why not go all the way and just give them the baby blue pants too?
yeah.
I love a good baby blue jersey, man. And that color scheme right there would look good in an all baby blue. Like it's the same way with us with Chicago, with their City Connects last year. I wish they would have went all the way and give me the baby blues. I think
I
baby
agree.
blues are some of the best uniforms in all of baseball.
I agree. I'm with you. Got
But
one.
those are
one or
sick
two more.
jerseys. I like theirs last year too. Atlanta's last year's were pretty cool. The one that had it had the A up in the corner of the chest with the blue sleeves and the white. It was like the white front with the blue. Those are cool too. But yeah, I like them. They look pretty good.
Got one or two more really quick things real quick here before we get into some final thoughts. I thought this was interesting. Team stat leaders. Runs scored 45. Leading the league right now is the Houston Astros and the Milwaukee Brewers. Home runs leading the league is the Pittsburgh Pirates and the LA Angels. Team average coming in at the highest, 290 right now. The Marlins. Stolen bases leader right now in the league is the Brewers at 15. Leading the league in team ERA is the Yankees at 1.01. Houston Astros are leading the league in strikeouts, 84. Marlins are leading the league in team whip at 0.83. And the Yankees are leading the league in runs allowed at 6. And MLB power rankings per Rowan Kavanaugh's power rankings on MLB Fox. He's got the Dodgers at number 1 this week, Blue Jays at number 2. He's got Yankees at number 3, Marlins at number 4. The New York Mets sit at number 5. Milwaukee Brewers are 6. He's got the Detroit Tigers at 7th, the Braves at 8, the Orioles at 9, and our beloved Chicago Cubs at number 10. Tyler, I got something for you, my man. We're going to have to go to Texas and watch a Rangers game because I want to see you order this.
Oh my gosh, I seen that yesterday.
Rangers revealed their wearable Nacho Rally Sombrero hat.
I got a question. Okay, if you purchase this, are you supposed to take it and put it on the guy's head in front of you?
I mean,
because if you're sitting there with that on your head, everybody's
going to hate you.
The people behind, yes, they're going to hate you, and then you've got everybody spitting and breathing over your nachos that are sitting on your head. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. It'd be interesting to see how many they sell that year, because I, for one, if I'm getting it, I'm just going to excuse me, sir, can I stick this on top of your head? I'll hand you one every now and then, but
or how many people sitting behind him is going to be sneaking and eating some
exactly that too, and then between those that are sneaking and doing that, how many of them are going to double dip?
Oh, yeah.
I can't stand a double dipper, Steve. I can't. You dip your chip in once when you're sharing with everybody, and that's it. No double dipping. And I couldn't trust that. I couldn't. So it'll be interesting to see how many they sell of those this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, before we wrap things up and get out of here, my man, you got any final thoughts for the people?
Yeah. Carter Jensen. Better alarm clock, buddy. Hey, props to you. Carter Jensen, Royals catcher, backup catcher, whatever you call it. He overslept through his alarm, missed his start. He was supposed to start on the plate last night. Misses it, but props to him. He owned up to it. Said, hey, my bad, whatever. So Carter Jensen, get your alarm clock, set it across your room in your bedroom. That way you have to get up and actually
get one of the old school ones, the wooden box ones.
Yeah, one of those goes off.
But it blasts like Michael McDonald and Doobie Brothers or something early in the morning.
Anybody that struggles with that, here's the catch. Take your alarm clock and put it away from you so that you have to literally get out of bed to turn it off.
That's it. All right, everybody, that concludes this week of the Dugout Dispatch, wrapping everything on week 1. My crazy take on overreactions and everything else between hot take. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Tyler, have a great weekend. We got some more baseball to watch this weekend, and we'll be back next week, everybody.
Later.